to the great Northwest.
This is Portland's Afternoon News.
On your first choice for live local news.
FM News 101.
Hit you with the news and info you need.
Indeed.
Get caught up. Happy Tuesday to you. Thanks for being here. I'm Cooper Banks.
Thanks for tuning in with us. I'm Lucinda Kay. It's 45 degrees in Portland right now, and it's 4:03.
And I'm Jordan Schultz. Very heavy up to Vancouver for the ride home. Already half an hour as we cross 4 o'clock. Full traffic coming up on the 7s.
A manhunt is on for an armed robber that shot and killed a clerk in a convenience store. It happened early this morning in Kelso. KXL's Rosemary Reynolds with the story.
Chief Andrew Hamilton says no doubt in his mind they will find the man who killed store clerk Kayla Chapman.
We'll find this individual just based on the clothing and the hat. I know that the quality of the photos are not that great.
Friend Desiree is beside herself.
It's still not real, which is another reason why I came here.
The investigation at Holt's Quick Check Market will go into the evening. From Kelso, Rosemary Reynolds, FM News 101.
4:04. More measles cases in Clark County. There are now 23 confirmed cases and 2 suspected cases since the outbreak at the beginning of the year. With the new case comes new locations where people may have been exposed. Those include last Tuesday at the Dollar Tree on Vancouver Plaza Drive, Portland Airport's baggage claim, and the south end of the ticket counter. An exposed person is also reported to have been at the Costco on Northeast 138th last Wednesday evening. For a full list of possible exposure sites and times, just head to kxl.com.
Lawmakers in Oregon got back to work today as the gavel fell for the 2019 session of the state legislature. KXL's Mike Turner tells you what's coming in Salem.
There's not much happening right now in the chambers. Over in the Senate.
First reading of House measures, second reading of House measures, third reading of House measures.
And over in the House.
First reading of Senate bills, second reading of Senate bills, third reading of Senate bills.
Obviously, it's early, but committees will soon be getting to work on funding the Oregon Health Plan, rent control, help for the homeless, a massive affordable housing bill. Also, there's the subject of taxes, the state's retirement system, how to fund education. Democrats have the power after securing a 3/5 majority last November, but the Senate Democratic leader says he's seeking compromise and wants legislation to benefit the entire state of Oregon. Mike Turner, FM News 101.
And on the first day of this legislative session, the Oregon Department of Education is slapped with a lawsuit. KXL's Grant Mackill has the story.
The state, Governor Kate Brown and State Education Chief Colt Gill all joined the OED as defendants.
It's about a group of students around the state who are not getting a full day of school.
Tom Stenson is the Deputy Legal Director for Disability Rights Oregon. He says they and 4 other groups filed the lawsuit because the students they're talking about have disabilities and they deserve to be in class full time.
What we're asking is that the state do better planning and provide better supports to ensure that youth actually get their full school days.
The OED's Mark Siegel responded to the suit today with a statement to KXL. He says they're committed to equity and excellence for every learner. Grant Mackill, FM News 101.
I figured this might happen. Senator Ron Wyden postponed upcoming town halls in several counties in anticipation of upcoming Senate votes in D.C. this week. The meetings in Jackson, Josephine, Crook, Jefferson, Deschutes, and Multnomah counties will be rescheduled.
Highway 30 is back to normal now, but this morning's commute caused quite a headache for many. A large tree toppled into the roadway. It's the season for that kind of thing. The rain keeps falling.
And then a combination of water weight, lack of soil, it just gets very, very, very soft. Trees will uproot or fall over.
Dash Shank is a manager with Davy Tree in Portland. He says high wind is typically a part of the equation, but not always. He says the threat of such falling foliage will remain until rainy season ends.
Beaverton Middle School is the first in the Northwest to get this stamp of approval. They're hoping other schools will follow suit. KXL's Rebecca Marshall.
Valley Catholic earned this advanced STEM certification, which means they're tackling science, technology, engineering, and math head on. Math teacher Kalani Estefio says it's more than just an acronym.
What STEM education is a lot more, how are we preparing our students to face the future that they will walk into, and are we keeping education up to date with the needs of the students?
It's a hit with this 13-year-old Allison Wynn.
I really like how it's hands-on learning. It's just really cool to see your ideas get into action.
And we'll get her education message for the legislature tomorrow during Portland's Morning News. Rebecca Marshall, FM News 101.
The Seattle Mariners great gets his ticket to the Baseball Hall of Fame. From the Chevy Silverado Sports Desk, here's Peter Sampson.
Mariners great Edgar Martinez is a Hall of Famer in his final year of eligibility. The 18-year veteran was a 7-time All-Star, and he hit .312 with 309 home runs and led the American League in batting in 1992 and 95, all with the Mariners. The Kansas City Chiefs have fired defensive coordinator Bob Sutton. He held that role since 2013. The Chiefs had the second lowest ranked defense in the NFL this season. And after a missed call by officials helped to keep the Saints out of the Super Bowl, at least 2 lawsuits have been filed by local attorneys on behalf of Saints fans who want to compel NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell to use his power under the NFL rulebook to replay the final minute 49 of regulation in New Orleans' overtime loss to the Los Angeles Rams in Sunday's NFC Championship game. Sports at 15 and 45. I'm Peter Sampson, FM News 101.
Time for the 5 things you need to know today. From the Maton Real Estate Group with Inspire Realty, that's movewithmaton.com. First, the U.S. Supreme Court is backing President Trump, allowing for a ban on transgender troops for now. Active duty Navy Lieutenant Blake Dremen is openly transgender and disappointed by the ruling.
As service members, we're trained to continue on and continue to serve, and we'll continue to do so until told otherwise.
While this is in effect, several legal challenges to the new policy are still making their way through the lower courts.
Also today, Supreme Court justices agreed to take up the court's first major gun rights case in nearly a decade. This involves a law in New York. The law prohibits carrying a licensed, locked, and unloaded handgun outside the home. It's not clear when the court will take up that case, but
given that you now have Justice Kavanaugh and Justice Gorsuch on the Supreme Court, 2 new conservatives to the court, it's much more likely that the court is going to uphold Second Amendment rights and strike down some of these gun regulations.
That's Loyola law professor Lori Levinson.
Striking teachers in Los Angeles appear to have a tentative deal in place, and many expect to be back in class tomorrow. Teachers in the nation's second largest school district have hit the picket lines the last 6 school days. Union leaders will vote tonight to ratify this new tentative contract agreement. We'll see in the morning.
Twitter is removing the account which spread misinformation about the encounter between a Native American man beating a drum and a crowd of high school students wearing Trump hats. Twitter says the account violated company rules against spreading fake news. The video of the encounter went viral, spurring several inaccurate media reports about what happened.
And at least 10 deaths are now blamed on the nation's latest winter storm. Meanwhile, Chicago's airports reporting flight cancellations and ground stoppages, too much snow and ice. The storm moved through areas of Wyoming, Chicago, and Utah Monday, and early this morning it closed a 100-mile stretch of Interstate 80 in Wyoming. And commuters in Denver had a hard time today, too. Those are the 5 things you need to know today.